We are live. Oh my goodness. We're going to wait for the Facebook bots to. Here we are. Fantastic. Hi, everyone. Everyone out there in Facebook land. Hello, and welcome to another Embodied Conversation episode. And I have called Wednesdays Wisdom Wednesday. And that is because I really love showcasing all of you in the group. And each and every single one of you have just such talent and so much wisdom to share. And so I just love doing this, and I'm so excited for our next guest, number 2. But not number 2 in order. There are no orders, right? Welcome, Yulia. I'm so excited that you're here today.
Thank you, so much. I'm really excited being with you. So excited, and with your community.
Yeah. So, before we dive in, I must do the introduction, if you will. So, Yulia Hunita, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
I want to make sure. And then Azriel.
You got it.
Yes. So Yulia Punita Azriel, that's the best name ever, is a life purpose clarity coach and embodiment trauma healer who mentors coaches, energy healers, yoga teachers, and artists, which is so many of you in this group, who feel insecure and second guess their worth, to trust themselves more, become more confident, and boldly share their gifts. There is nothing more fulfilling to Yulia than facilitating deeply healing inward journeys and retreats that lead to miracles in women's lives. And I will say to you right now, from personal experience of watching her grow in her craft and in these beautiful gifts, Yulia is literally changing the world one person at a time. And I cannot wait to showcase her story. However, Yulia, I would love for you to take us a little bit into your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your story, because really at the end of the day, this is your space.
Thank you, Alma. I just feel, as you're speaking, this feeling when your body is buzzing with this really warm and tingling sensations. That's what I'm feeling in connection with you. And from the very first time when we met, I remember when almost a year ago, we just just this feeling of recognition of, oh, you are a wise old soul. And I know you.
I feel exactly the same way. I remember meeting you. Gosh, I can't believe it's been almost a year. That is wild. I just remember seeing you as Yulia and I are in this beautiful entrepreneurial group of women leaders. And a lot of times we have meetings and, we're in these little boxes. I suppose we're kind of in a rectangle right now. And I remember seeing her and I would hear her speak. I'm like, who is that? And we finally had the chance to meet in a breakout room, for those of you who are familiar with Zoom. And then, I completely agree. It's like, I know you. I don't know how I know you, but there's so much to your beingness. You are really a being of light. And I'm just so grateful that you're here today.
Yay. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this. Embodied conversations.
Yes, embodied conversations. Yes. So tell us your story.
So my story. We all have quite a story, don't we? So
true.
my story now, where am I now in my life? I feel so blessed, just like many of us, being in our purpose, living our purpose. And I get to wake up in the morning and feel that buzzing energy in my body and get excited to come and share my gifts and help my clients now from all over the world through this incredible technology, and to be in person. I lead retreats now in Bali and Sedona and other places in the world. And it's just a dream come true. And if I told myself, my younger self from 10 years ago, that this was possible, like my younger self would just say, like, are you crazy? It's just it's a dream out of, yeah, it's a dream that's not for you. That's what my younger self would say. And why is because most of my life I lived with this debilitating feeling of insecurity, that there's this belief and smallness that and the boxes I put myself into that was telling me there's something wrong with you. I just kept feeling and thinking majority of my life for over 30 years that there's something majorly wrong with me, that I'm not smart enough, I'm not creative or intelligent enough, I'm not put together, there's flaws, like full of flaws. And that kept me small. That kept me hiding from the world most of my life, because I was so ashamed to show myself to the world, because I felt there's something wrong, inherently wrong here in this one. And that led me on this path of trying to do so hard to prove everyone, no, there's value here. So I went on this path of going all the way to a PhD in biochemistry in order to prove, acquiring degree after degree to try to prove my parents, because that story comes from childhood, and I come from a long lineage of scientists and brilliant researchers. So I tried to keep up with that and prove and prove and prove. But that never would give me this feeling that I was looking for, a feeling of, oh, I'm okay. I can just relax and feel good in my body. I always felt this social anxiety and a lot of depression throughout my life, feeling like there's something wrong. And it was through the embodiment journey. That's why I love the topic of this conversation, that it's an embodied conversation, that I found myself. And step by step, through all the training, all the things that I learned about how to really get to live in my body and love my body, and to realize, really get into that place of deep peace and love and connection. It's all about connection to the divine, connection to my heart, connection to others, that there was no longer walls set between me and the other world, and the other person and the world, that it's all part of the integrated whole, and I'm complete. There's nothing wrong with me, including all the quirks and all the challenges. And I still go through periods of depression and fears and anxiety, and none of it needs to go away.
Ooh, that's powerful. Wow. Yeah. None of it needs to go away. It's very much, it's like as above, so below, right? It's an invitation to, for all of us. And I'm sure, let us know in the comments below, for those of you watching live or watching the replay, if you're resonating with Yulia's story. I know I am. I feel this journey very much in my own personal journey, and this reconnection through this breakdown, right? Through breakdown comes breakthrough. And then, but I also like to think of it as things that break down, well, they do come back together. And a lot of times they come back together stronger, if you will.
Exactly.
Right. And some things that fall off are meant to fall away.
Yeah.
they don't serve us anymore. And so thank you for sharing that beautiful, beautiful story. I was thinking about how you are from a line of a lineage of researchers and scientists. And how did you end up heading towards different modalities, like the modalities in yoga and in energy? What was that point where you did the pivot towards that direction?
Yeah, definitely it was a pivot.
Hmm.
I was in the midst of the PhD program in biochemistry when in that moment, I felt completely disconnected from my purpose, and it was already 20 years of academic career at that point. And I was burnt out and just didn't feel alive. I didn't feel connected. And in that moment, I remember I met a friend who, well, I was just walking on campus and there was a sign that said Argentine tango. And it was a really an impulse. It wasn't a logical decision. I was just kind of numbed out. I only knew one path between my apartment, the lab, and the library. Those are the only three places I knew. And I was kind of on that, numbed out. And then something on the periphery, there was this sign, Argentine tango. And I was like, oh, I want to feel alive. I want to be in my body. And that was one of the first crumbs. And that led me to yoga. Though I met a friend at that class that brought me to yoga. And from those experiences of coming into my body was like step by step of return home.
Wow. Returning home to the body through movement. Yeah. Really. I know this path. I know that path. And I know there's a lot of people here who have done the collegiate path of the undergrad, the grad, the post-grad, the doc, the postdoc, all of that. And there is that path, right? From where we live to, for me as a musician, it was like, go to the practice room and go to the library. Cause when I went to college, there was no Google. There was, so it was a lot of time at the library. So yes, that numbed feeling, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Mm-hmm. And so I can just see you. I can just see you going, whoa, what is this? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, the tango is such a beautiful, expressive movement form. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is really expressive, and the tango invites us as people to not only move our bodies in certain ways, but also to express emotion and to emote. Yeah. And when we are in the depths of whatever education we're in, it doesn't have to be higher education. I know that when I'm in the depths of like what I'm studying now with business and marketing, there are times I forget to be in my body. And when I'm not in my body, oofda. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. I mean, I'm so grateful for my brain. I'm so grateful for learning. I'm so grateful for that. But if I get too much up here, I become a lone wolf. I become very like reclusive and like, and it just, yeah. And so that tango, I can just see that just papa, right? It's very feisty. It's very fiery and beautiful and emotive. Which of course then led you to yoga and whatnot, and really opened up that tango opened up the door for you.
That was the door opener. Yes,
that was the door.
And you said the key point is it's about emotions and being connected to emotions, not just the body as a vehicle, but really feeling. And it's all about opening the heart.
Yes,
we can feel emotions when our heart start to open.
Oof. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, I love this. I'm getting all tingly now. Oh, so you're getting in your body and you're discovering you have a body.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, there's more than just this. As you're discovering this and as those doors are opening, it seemed like there was then another pivot taking you into that world of life purpose clarity, and then diving in deeper. So how did that door open for you? What was that part of the journey like?
That's a great question. It's the more my heart opened,
Mm.
it's day after day, and the more I could just respond to what felt good in my body, and the more I started living in that feeling good state, not strategizing what is my life purpose, not thinking about my life purpose, but feeling my I love to think about our life purpose is how that is generically for everyone is our ability to expand our capacity to love. That's our life purpose. And when I just started falling in love with people, because growing up I had a huge fear of people. I would rather spend time in nature and animals, and that was my love from young as a little one. But as my heart started to open, I started to love people and love women, supporting women specifically, just like me, to live a life where their hearts are guiding them. So that's how I came to this place of being the coach or mentor for women leaders and healers, is because I just started serving. And the more I served, the more I could see who I am the best fit to serve. It just happened very naturally. At this point, it just started unfolding session by session, and just hearing with my heart and listening with my heart, and then just taking a fearless action from that place.
Wow. I hope you're all taking notes, because these are beautiful nuggets of wisdom. I know I'm going to be watching this again. Can you say it one more time for me? Your definition of life purpose, because that was for me.
Yes, universal. I feel like it's not we all have individual ways that we express our purpose, but universally our lives we're here on this journey to learn to expand, how to expand our capacity to love.
Amazing. That's amazing. I, as somebody who trained in life purpose, have never heard that. And that has completely burst my heart open. Like, that really is life's universal purpose, right? Not our individualistic purposes, but the universal purpose is expanding this capacity, this ability, this call to love. Really, it's this pull. I'm sure, I think many of you in here are very familiar with this idea, this sensation, I should say, of this pull, being pulled towards something. And like this just dropped in of, wait, this is love pulling us. This is this like,
Yeah.
love is such a, oh, I'm getting teary.
Yeah.
But it's just this beautiful, I don't really have words, honestly, to really explain it, but it really is this loving, like, this is where you need to come this way, right? It's in my mind, for so many years, I've thought of this pull as this very kind of this very masculine, very like tug of war idea of pull, pain pushes until right purpose pulls. And now to bring in this beautiful, beautiful, universal life purpose wisdom of, this ability to, this capacity, this ask of us to expand our love and to, that just changes everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it changes anything for everybody else, but for me, speaking for myself, you just changed, reframed, you helped me reframe what this pull, the sensation of pull really is. Because I've always felt the pull from here, from heart center, and also from the hara, that center of our being. Some people call it the dantian, the 1 point. We could go on and on. But it is this very kind of this longing when there's a pull, at least for me.
Yeah.
So I just had to say that out loud because
it's so beautiful the way I just so feel how you took it in, and really that's like really huge. I could feel how huge this is, and it is.
It is.
It's because I just feel like universally we came into this life to learn many lessons, right? And we all, every single one of us has experienced a lot of challenges, a lot of setbacks, a lot of trauma. If we are human, we've had trauma.
Yeah.
So there's so much stigma around trauma that it's something that has to be really dramatic, which a lot of us have had. Even the very first experience of coming through the birth canal, it's already a trauma.
Dramatic. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And we come here and to learn those lessons so we can learn through those traumatic experiences and expand our ability to be loved. Because at our core, we are love. The universe birthed us as a gift of love.
Wow.
And when we are learning to lean into those traumatic, hard, really hard experiences that we can only process in our bodies, right? That's what we're here to do. Yeah, that's when we expand that ability to be love.
That's so powerful. And I just want to say, watching you as you talk about this, there's so much light beaming forth. It's something where when we teach these things, everyone has their own little pocket of genius, if you will, that we teach. I know that sometimes for us, like for me, for example, if I'm teaching something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, I know that sometimes I'm like, hasn't everybody heard this before? But this is a really great example where I've never heard this way of talking about purpose before. And so for all of you listening out there, for those of you especially who are out there and teaching and teaching and teaching and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm repeating myself, keep repeating yourselves. Sharing what you're being called to share. Because maybe 8 people out of 10 heard it, but there are 2 people who haven't yet. And it's those 2 people that, they're going to hear it. Like I heard it from the first time today. And it's just in this little moment, we've only been on for 20-ish minutes. And all of a sudden I've had a major shift. Right. So I just felt really called to say that to each and every single one of you who are in this holistic business world. And I know some of you are not. And that's great, because this wisdom is not just for this particular niche. It's for all people. Yeah. It's for all people.
That's a great reminder, Amma, to keep, because we all have a certain flavor of a message that we are here to share with the world based on our experiences, based on our kind of blueprint. Yeah. And the other thing I want to add to that is that why it's so important to keep sharing it is because people are not the same, even if they've heard it before. In this moment, they're a brand new person and they are at a new level of openness to be able to receive at another level.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
100% on that. Yes. Yes, that's huge. I tell this to my students, my NIA students all the time when we step into class. We may have done this one particular song a gazillion times, yet every time we step in, we are a new person. Maybe something happened 2 hours ago, so it made us feel like, oh, very like stiff and heavy, or a celebration happened, so we're very light, and so we show up differently every single time. And what we heard last time, it can definitely land so differently the next time. So yeah, absolutely keep sharing your stories. It's even if you've said it 100 times, do it one more time, one more time, one more time. Yeah, it's so important. I'm watching the clock and I'm realizing that these 30 minutes go by very fast. Wow, I am so mind blown right now, and I'm so grateful. There is one question. So I had a list of questions, and I'm so grateful that Yulia just invited me or reminded me to be in the flow, and the questions are there to kind of as an idea, but there is one question that I do really like asking all of my guests. And is there a question that, if you could be in my shoes right now, that you would ask yourself that I haven't asked you yet? Yeah, I love that.
That's such a great question. Oh, let me feel into it.
Yeah, feel into it. Take your time. What is time really?
Okay, I got one. I was thinking, should we ask a younger self or give an advice to an older self? Maybe, yeah, you get to choose. Either, either connect with the younger self and give, or give an advice, or receive, or maybe even receive. What would be a wisdom that you want to receive from your wise self 10 years from now?
Such a good question. What is a piece of wisdom that you would want, that yourself to, I can't even, take two. If your older self, if your wiser self from 10 years from now would come and visit you, what piece of wisdom would they give you?
It's such a, actually, I love this. It just came to me spontaneously. I love it. Let's see. I think she would want me to know that, first of all, she'll say, you are doing incredible job. I'm so proud of you. And you have no idea what magic and how many incredible accomplishments and how much you will serve in the world in the next 10 years. And where you are now is a perfect place for you to create all of those accomplishments in the next 10 years and be the light in the world and support healing for the planet. And the only thing I want to tell you now, just keep going, like one little step at a time. There's nothing that you need to do differently. You're already doing everything, and just keep going and do it imperfectly. Do it completely imperfectly. Don't try to be perfect.
That's yes. I just, yes, 100% yes on that. Show up every day in your way. Absolutely. For those of us on the path of entrepreneurship, soulpreneur, whatever you want to call it, even if it's just the beginning where you haven't really tapped into what you want to do and you're still niche searching and you're in the soup, one step at a time, one step at a time. It's very tempting to do 100 steps, right? And a lot of the steps that that you do, that we do, that I do, I should speak in that I do is I see one step and then I realize, oh, there's so many steps.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Wow. And that's okay. Just reverse the car a little bit, just go back and be like, okay, well, if this is where I need to be, let's start with this step over here.
Yeah.
But I love that wisdom. I like your future self. Your future self is awesome. Like cheerleader, like you got this, keep going. I invite each and every single one of you to grab your journal.
Yes.
Grab your journal and write it down. You yeah,
Follow your heart.
mine says find peace.
Oh, I love it.
And write it down. Say, hey, future self, from 10 years from now, what is one piece of wisdom you have for me in this moment?
Yeah.
Sit with it. Close your eyes, take a moment, just like how Yulia just did it. What a perfect way to demonstrate. Just simple. Close your eyes. Breathe. And release distraction, right? We step in to release distraction. And then start writing. No periods, no, don't make it perfect, just write and see what comes up. Don't edit it. Just blah. See what happens.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can put it away or whatever you want to do with that. But I invite every single person who is watching this to do this. And I would love to hear what happens. If any golden nuggets come up, put them in the comments below. And tag me and tag Yulia so that we can see them and we can comment and because I'm sure that Yulia, you would enjoy watching everybody's ahas as well.
Really would, yes, absolutely. I'll come back and I'd love to hear what your future selves have to share, because it's like we get to share all this wise future selves messages with each other, and we get to pick and receive.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So this was amazing. Everybody needs to rewind, watch it again and again and again for all the amazing nuggets. But before I let you go, I would love to hear from you. What is anything special coming up for you? How can people reach you? Let me know. Let us know.
Yeah, yes, thank you. I do have something very special coming up, and in a very special location, live. So I have this retreat, which is called Trust Your Gifts in Sedona next month, that is coming up. And for those of you who feel like you maybe are kind of going through a muck and not fully in your flow, for those of you who are healers and yoga teachers or embodiment coaches or any kind of coach, that you want to take your message and your gift more out into the world, but something inside of you is blocking you. You might be feeling fears or worrying about what people would say or how people would take you, or not quite knowing how to really step out and shine your light. This retreat is for you. It's an in-person retreat in this incredible location in Sedona. And Sedona in itself, those of you who have been, or of course we've heard how powerful the energy vortexes are in Sedona. And this retreat center is actually called a Heart Center, and it's surrounded by red rock. And I have very special itinerary for 5 days, September 10th through the 14th, where we'll be emerging in women's practices, embodied practices, and in the circle and women's temple and rituals and ceremonies in nature on the energy sites, their chakra energy sites and angel sites and the labyrinth. And so there's so much juiciness there. So those of you who are really feel like that you need an infusion of inspiration and support of women in the very loving, safe container, that I invite you to consider to join us. And Amma will be able to drop a link in the comments.
Absolutely. If you feel that loving pull, that you're really ready, definitely check out. I'll put a link after we finish here, but check it out. Listen to that pull. Listen to, even if it's like what? There's no way.
Mhm.
Check it out. Click on the link. Yulia is an absolute, the word that comes up to mind is gem or treasure. She will hold space for you. I mean, there are very few people that I know that are like her and that can hold space like she can. And I've known quite a few people in this world. And yeah, I would definitely, oh, my kitty just perfect. She just spilled all my water. Everything's fine. But I would definitely go check out the link and yeah, join Yulia in Sedona if you can. It's a magical place and it will be a magical week. So
Mm.
oh, this
Yeah,
was
I love
so fantastic.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's been so wonderful to be with you, and I feel like we're like spreading ripples of love. Like we're fulfilling our purpose right in this moment.
100%.
And being connected with you, my heart just bursts with love, and I feel like, oh, just that conversation meant so much to me, and it's just so inspiring and deeply meaningful to my heart. And with all of the listeners, what viewers who are here, I know live now or replay, I would love to hear your takeaways or your nuggets of inspiration, or maybe it's an action that you're feeling called to take from that inspired place to move forward in expressing your purpose and in your creative expression.
Yes, I feel the same way. I feel like every time I talk to you, there's always a shift within me. You make me a better person. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And I'm incredibly grateful for your time, for coming on. And I'm looking forward to people catching the replay as they hop on and off of social media. And I'm going to make sure to tag everyone so they can see you, because this is definitely a do not miss. Definitely. I mean, none of these. You shouldn't miss any of these. So, but I'm so grateful. Take good care, everybody. And I have a special conversation coming up tomorrow. It's a surprise. I'll let you all know in a couple hours. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.